I'm Brian Russell. I'm the author of Centering Prayer. Sitting quietly in God's presence can change your life. And it's my privilege to answer a question that I received by one of my readers. And again, if you have questions about centering prayer, send them in to me at deepdivespirituality@gmail.com, and I'll answer your question in a video as well. The reader wrote, "You're a very productive person with a lot of responsibility and a full schedule, but you try to practice at least one prayer session per day. Talk about how you have kept your discipline up under less than ideal circumstances. What's the secret when your schedule is derailed or otherwise unforgiving? Plan ahead and get up early. Pray after everyone in the house has gone to bed. Slip out to your car in the middle of the day. All of the above." Well, thanks for the question. And the answer is it's really a combination of all of those things. I don't generally do centering prayer in my car, but my good friend Rich Lewis did that when he had a busy career and was at his office. He would slip out at breaks to do centering prayer. And so the answer to your question essentially is you want to be as intentional as possible, and you also want to be kind to yourself. So do I do centering prayer every single day? The answer is almost. I think I've missed a couple of days over the last several years, so I always do it in at least some form. Now, sometimes that means, especially like if I'm running late, I have to be creative and do some of the things that you've talked about, but I try to always do some in the morning when I wake up. And so my default mode, and this is one of the key things, you want to get into a rhythm. So my default is pretty much within 10 or 15 minutes of waking up, I have a cup of coffee, and then my wife and we do 20 minutes of silent meditative prayer every morning together. Now, there are rare exceptions where maybe I have to get going super early, but for the most part, that's the default. Now, when I find myself incredibly busy, I'll actually add more centering prayer in, not less. And I do that because I found the more that I center myself in God, the more relaxed I am, the calmer I am, and it's easier for me to be present. And when you're present, friends, doing whatever you have to do, no matter how busy you are, you're inherently more productive because you're fully available for the people that you are serving, or if you're doing a task, you're fully available to work on the task. So cutting out our contemplative practices doesn't actually give you more time. I think it gives you less time. But to answer your second part of your question is you have to be flexible, right? And so this is where it's intentional. So yeah, sometimes you need to maybe do 2 minutes in your car before you go into a meeting. Maybe when you get home from work after an exceedingly busy day, maybe you spend like 2 minutes in your car in the driveway before you walk inside. Maybe you schedule your prayer time at night. The critical piece is that you do it, and then if you get knocked off your schedule, don't judge yourself. It's just like in centering prayer. When a difficult thought comes up, you don't judge yourself. You don't push it back down. You just give it to God. It's the same way. So if you miss a day, get back after it the next day. If you can only do 5 minutes, 5 minutes is better than no minutes. And so be kind to yourself. Don't judge, and just continue to open yourself up to God's grace. You'll be glad you did. Hope this was helpful. If you have other questions, again, you can send them to me at deepdivespirituality@gmail.com, and it would be my privilege to serve you and try to answer your question the best that I can. I'll see you next time.